All right, so tonight we are making more goodies that we got from the farmer's market in downtown Madison. We saw so many good things, and while we tried our best to come up with a menu that like wouldn't be too complicated, like we got a lot of stuff, and I don't actually know how I'm gonna get it all cooked. We have limited it to 2 sides instead of 3, but basically we've got some steaks that we picked up from Branch and Daughter, which is a local butcher. We've got some amazing rainbow carrots that we're gonna do with like a brown butter and some orange, and then some really awesome mushrooms that I'm super excited about. What kind were they? Do you remember? We'll look it up by the time we get to the mushrooms. But anyway, I think what I'm gonna do is start with salting the steaks so those can sit aside, and then I'll figure out which one we're gonna do next. So we found these rainbow carrots, which just, they looked awesome. So I'm thinking we'll just roast them in the oven first, just to get them softened, but then we will finish them off in a pan. Like I said, with some butter. We'll do a little bit of orange juice and orange zest. Maybe some thyme. I think we have thyme. Maybe not. We do? Good. Okay. So I don't think I'm going to cook all of these, but I'm just going to pull out the ones that I want, and we're going to get them cleaned up and on the pan, and then I will coat them with some olive oil and salt and pepper, and then I think we'll just do them at like 400 for, I don't know. We'll start with like 15-20 minutes and see where that gets us, because again, we're going to finish them in the pan. All right, so these are chestnut mushrooms that we found. There was all sorts of stuff in the market. They had oyster, chanterelle, shiitake, but these we thought looked really good for just, we're gonna keep it super simple. We're just gonna season them with some butter, salt, pepper, some thyme, just so that like the flavor of the mushroom stays there. These are kind of a woody stalk, so I mean, they're gonna hold up to us cooking them a little bit. So we're gonna get these started, and then we can set them aside because we're gonna need the same pan to be able to sear our steaks. All right, so our mushrooms look done. We just finished seasoning them with some of the other fresh garlic we got from the market. Salt and pepper, thyme, and we are just gonna let these sit on the side. We can always reheat them if we need to before we get started, but oh, they look so good. They smell so good. They might not last until we actually eat dinner. All right, back up. Oh, those look good. All right, so carrots are done. We ended up roasting them for, let's see, 20 minutes at 400. And so they're nice and fork tender. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna let them sit here for a little bit, because we're ultimately going to add the glaze in the pan with them once we're closer to getting ready to eat. So at this point, I am ready to get my steaks started. So I took them out a little bit ago just so they could start to come up to temp. We are going to do a reverse sear. So I'm actually going to start the cooking process in the convection oven at a low heat. So I'm actually kind of waiting for the convection oven to cool down a little bit. We're gonna cook them in there until probably like 100 degrees. And then I'm gonna finish them in the pan. That way we can still make sure we get nice sear on it. And we're gonna coat them with some butter and good stuff like that. But anyway, we're gonna cook them directly on the rack in the convection oven. That way all the air can circulate. So we are going to use our trusty meter thermometer, which I'm just gonna put it in the larger of the 2 steaks, and I just want it to go kind of straight into the center. I need it to go in enough that the steak will still rotate once it's in there. So as soon as the oven cools down just a little bit, I'm gonna get them in there probably about 200 degrees, and then we'll go from there. All right, so here I got too much shit going on. All right, hot rack coming out for a second. I'm gonna put this tray in the bottom, that way it will collect any of the drippings. Just gotta make sure I get it in here. If it wasn't hot, it wouldn't be such a pain. Okay, all set.
We have 2 gloves. She just refuses to use them.
Ain't got time for that. All right, steaks are going on the rack. No rat. God, why did you get such big steaks? Oh my God, seriously. Like, how much does that thing weigh? One of them weighs over a pound? Oh, that's just dumb. Okay. What do you think, Kurt? Convection. Let's do 250. Start. It's beeping twice because it's already there as far as temperature. I think. Which means I need to open it and add time. So I'm just gonna add 30 minutes. It is definitely not gonna take that long to get there, but that way I don't have to like reset it. But I need to turn on the meter thermometer. I'm gonna need a phone to be able to do this. Let me know when you're ready to pair.
Yes.
Do I have to hold it down? It's blinking red. Oh, all right. Let's give it a second. It's still blinking red. Oh, it's green now. It's green now. All good. Okay, so what temperature is it reading right now? What'd you say?
I just set up the cook.
Oh.
Beef. Ribeye. What do you want it?
I want it, I'm thinking I want to pull it like a little over 100 because I still want to have plenty of time in the pan to get a sear.
105?
105 is good because I'm going to pull them at like 128. I just don't want to reach temperature, you know?
Hey, we got a low battery. We just bought batteries.
Shit. Do you think it's going to work for... What size battery does it use? How much time do we have left?
2 minutes.
2 minutes. Okay, 2 minutes left, and we will have reached 105 on the steaks here. I'm gonna go ahead and get this pan ready to start searing them. I'm just gonna put some canola oil in it, and then we are gonna crank this all the way up to 10, just so we can get a really good sear. As they get closer to temp and being done, we've got some butter. I probably won't, no, I'll probably throw all this in. Like, I know people that throw a whole stick of butter in, but we'll throw this in as well as some thyme and some chopped up garlic, and then we're gonna spoon it over the steak. It's really good. Then when the steaks are resting, we'll get finished with the carrots. So, cranking this up. Turning this on. Are they good? Do you want me to get the other? Are you still recording? I have both. Okay. See, I can't use it. carrots don't look the hottest. They look gray. It's to be expected, but that's how we're gonna get a good sear on them. All right, steaks resting. Just gonna make up a quick sauce for the carrots. And I'm just kind of winging this. I found a recipe that looked pretty good. So obviously we're going to cook them in butter. I say obviously because that's just kind of the thing to do with anything. We're going to add some brown sugar, and then I'm gonna do both the zest and some juice of an orange. And then we'll also just sprinkle some thyme on the top of it so it just kind of melts all the flavors together. So let's get these going.
It's good, right?
All right, I am so happy with how these carrots turned out. This was just kind of an experiment, but they look so good. So I'm gonna grab some of these. I don't have as many mushrooms left as I did when we started, like I thought. Oh, this looks so good. Okay, so your steak is just like,
Yeah, I'll get to it.
yeah. Okay, but I'm gonna try mine. I need a fork. No rat, you're not getting any of this. Let's see how it turned out. I may have gotten a little overdone. Yeah, it's closer to medium. My thermometer, I realized, and sometimes you don't realize this until all the way through, the thermometer started poking through to the bottom of the steak, so it was reading incorrectly. And so then by the time I realized that, it was already pretty close to temp. But let's see how the steak tastes. I bet yours will probably be cooked better because mine's a little bit thinner. Oh, it's good. Those are seriously some really good steaks. You sure they're not dry aged?
No, they weren't. They had some amazing looking dry aged stuff in the cooler that was being dry aged.
I might have to go back to get some. All right, let's try the carrots. Oh, I just had a whole piece of the garlic. This is good. Because I wanted to, but like it wasn't roasted. Oh, those are good. Okay, so the recipe I was kind of going for, if you've been to Burns in Tampa, they serve you a side of carrots, and they're like shredded carrots.
Julianne.
No, they're not. They're like shredded. Anyway, they cook them with, I think, Grand Marnier, so it gives it like a orange flavor. So that's what I was kind of trying to do here. Oh, so good. We'll definitely share like the ingredients on how we did that. And then the mushrooms, which I already know because I've been eating them the whole time, taste really good. So yeah, farmer's market meal from Madison, Wisconsin. Sunday steak night dinner. So anyway, hope you guys enjoy. We'll see you later.